This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
It is election day and the April general election is now underway. This is a live look at Webster Groves, where just moments ago the polls opened up and voters are going to decide some really hot races today. Coming up in a few minutes, our Alex Fees joins us with what you need to know as you head off to vote this morning. Good morning to you. It is Tuesday, April the 4th. I'm Rennie Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Of course, we wanted to say thanks for joining us, including those of you who might be watching us on 5+. We have Paul Cook standing by with traffic, and of course, Anthony standing by with weather. So much to talk about weather-wise.
Yeah, near record heat today. I mean, we're going to get into the 80s later on, and that's fuel for storms. And if you're ever that warm, especially near the record for the day, and there's a front moving in, you really want to be on guard. So tonight through this time tomorrow morning, storms will be working their way through the area. This morning, nice and dry, really warm too as you head out, 60s out the door, but no thunderstorms here just yet. Those were up in the Chicago area. Oh, there we go. That was weird. My screen went black. The Storm Prediction Center has a still outlook tonight for severe weather. And it looks like most of this will come in after midnight, but the Quad City area down into parts of the Ozarks, that's where a lot of the tornadic activity will form this afternoon and evening, and then again overnight roll our direction. So in the meantime, warm, windy, high temperatures today will climb into the 80s. So enjoy, but grab the sunscreen. All right, let's head over to Paul Cook and track the Tuesday morning commute. Paul, anything interesting happening on the roads right now?
Not a ton, but it could be an interesting morning because driving habits could be a bit different with voting. Also, you might want to leave a little bit earlier than you normally do just because of that. Wanted to take a look in Illinois. You're also seeing very, very smooth traffic right now. No major delays. We do have a reported incident, 44 eastbound at Grand. This is nearby, a little bit further east, moving very, very well. Traffic maps at ksdk.com. Hit weather, traffic on the far right side. More of it coming very soon.
All right, thanks so much, Paul. New this morning, several people in North St. Louis County are waking up without a home after a fire damages an apartment complex. This actually happened on Elta Rose Drive in Jennings around 1:15 this morning. The North County Fire Chief says it started as a grease fire on the second floor. The good news out of all of this is that nobody was hurt, but we did catch up with a mom of 2 living there. She says she woke up to sirens and smoke.
I just opened the door and took off running, had my kids in my arms and just ran for dear life. And by the time I looked up like this to the balcony, I mean, it was just flames, just orange and black smoke everywhere. So hot. I felt it from the 3rd floor all the way to the ground.
Well, we are told 4 of the units were damaged by the flames and the lower units suffered a lot of smoke damage. The neighbor says the smoke alarms were also not working.
It is election day and we are following more than 400 races and issues.
One thing people in St. Louis County will be voting for is Prop M, and the M is for marijuana. Our Alex Fees is live at a polling place in Webster Groves with a closer look for us this morning. Alex?
Michelle and Rennie, good morning. It was back in November that Missouri voters approved legalized marijuana use, recreational use in the state of Missouri. Now on this election day, the question is what level of government is going to benefit from marijuana tax revenue? Now, Missouri voters approved Constitutional Amendment 3, which legalized the use and recreational sale of marijuana to those 21 and older. The amendment also places a 6% state sales tax on purchases and authorizes local governments to add a 3% sales tax. St. Louis County officials today estimate that Prop M would bring in about $3.5 million in revenue annually. Voters in other counties in the St. Louis area are also being asked to consider a tax on recreational marijuana sales. In St. Charles County, it's called Proposition 3, and in the city of St. Louis, it's just called Proposition.
The tax on recreational marijuana, and I would hope that other people would do that too. It will go to county services that we need to provide. Most of our general revenue funds go to public safety.
In its first weekend back in February, recreational marijuana sales totaled $8.5 million in the state of Missouri. Polling places in Missouri opened and Illinois open at 6 a.m. They will remain open until 7 o'clock tonight. Now at 6:30, we'll take a look at the St. Louis Board of Alderman race in South City. The last day of campaigning yesterday was not without controversy. Live this morning in Webster Groves, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Alex. There are some other very hot races on the ballot. St. Charles voters will decide on their next mayor. Incumbent Dan Borgmeyer faces off against Tom Besselman. The winner will be in control of how to handle the city's current water issues.
A last-minute ruling disqualifies 2 of the 3 candidates for the Melville School Board. The Missouri Ethics Commission says current board president Peggy Hassler and board member Emma Jean Preto failed to file a financial interest statement on time. County election officials say the names will still be on the ballot, but any votes for those 2 candidates won't be counted. 3 seats are now open on the board, so this means 2 will remain vacant until the board appoints new members. This morning, we do have a voter guide with all of the hot races in your area. Just text the word vote to 314-425-5355, and we will send it straight to your phone. And then when the polls close at 7 o'clock tonight, you can join 5 on your side for all of the results. Our Decision 2023 coverage begins at 7 o'clock at kstk.com/election. And then we'll have expanded results at 10. And of course, you can join us tomorrow morning right here on Today in St. Louis. And we will have reaction from all of the winners.
Happening today, a Hermann police officer shot and critically injured on the job back in March will finally leave Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur. And that is where we find our Sydney Stallworth this morning, who has more on how the community plans to honor him today. Sydney?
Renee, good morning. You know, it's been 3 weeks since Hermann officer Adam Sullentrop was first arriving here at Mercy Hospital for treatment after he was shot, critically injured back in mid-March. Now, in just a couple of hours, he'll get to leave the hospital, but he won't be going home just yet. He has a long road to recovery, and he's going to continue his treatment in Colorado. Now, the Hermann Police Department posted this update on social media that you see on your screen here, saying Officer Sullentrop will continue treatment at Craig Hospital in Englewood, Colorado. Sullentrop was shot last month by a suspect at a Casey's convenience store in Hermann and was critically injured. Hermann PD Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith was also shot and died. Police have since charged Kenneth Lee Simpson for murder and several other charges. Today, there will be a display of support for Officer Sullentrop. He'll leave Mercy Hospital here in Creve Coeur at 9:30 this morning, and he'll be escorted by his family, friends, and local first responders to Spirit of St. Louis Airport. Everyone is invited to send him off along this procession. Now, it's going to be about a 15-minute drive from here to Spirit of St. Louis Airport, and Hermann PD chief has already warned that this could cause some traffic issues on the road. He does want to remind drivers that the best thing for them to do would be to pull off to the shoulder to allow room for the procession to continue onto the airport and for Officer Sullentrop to get the treatment that he needs. Reporting live in Creve Coeur, I'm Sydney Stallworth, 5 on your side.
Thanks so much, Sydney. New this morning, a woman is recovering after being grazed in the head by a bullet. This happened just after 11:30 last night on O'Fallon Street in North St. Louis. She was able to make it a few blocks to a gas station on 14th and Cass, and if you look, you can see where a bullet hole is in the passenger side window. No word on a suspect this morning.
All right, let's talk about your weather first forecast and get you into the future. We are looking at a really warm day in St. Louis today. We do have some clouds around this morning, but they'll break up as we go through the day. The storms this afternoon will fire north into the Quad City area up into Chicago. That's this afternoon, the first round of storms. And then the cold front, that actually doesn't move through until about this time tomorrow morning. So those storms will actually start forming about 8 o'clock this evening back towards Kansas City and St. Joseph. And as the line works its way closer, it will kick up the instability available in the atmosphere. So around midnight, there could be some really strong storms south of St. Louis near Rolla, Ironton, down towards Arcadia, even Farmington into Perryville as they move off towards the east. And through about 7 o'clock in the morning, we'll still have more storms with the potential of severe weather, gusty winds, and tornadoes the main risk. We will take a deeper dive into this and a look at a quiet weekend on the way in just a few minutes.